The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. This is a camera that everyone's been trying to get a hold of. Unfortunately, they released it in very limited stock. Luckily, we found a way to get them shipped to the Philippines, and this is one of two cameras that we have available. This particular video is about opening up the camera and figuring out how to best rig it. Hopefully, at the end of it, I'm going to be able to show you what the rig is like and how you can be able to rent it from Arsenal. Let's open this up and see what all the fuss is about. It's not pocket-sized, but I guess it is smaller than the other cinema cameras, dedicated cinema cameras out there. It's a nice looking camera. As a rental company, whenever a new camera comes out, whenever a new technology comes out, we always ask ourselves what the relevance is. Meaning, at the end of the day, if we do decide to get the camera and make it available for rental, who's gonna want it? Who's gonna end up shooting with it? What sort of filmmakers will end up demanding it? And what sort of need does it fill? And that's really a more important question than whether it is a fundamentally good camera, or if the image quality is great, or if it's cheap, or if we think that it's popular enough. Because the next question is, once you get the camera, how do you rig it out? How do you set it up so that it can integrate properly into a production workflow? If our clients are shooting commercials or feature-length films, what would they need? What would they require? And how would they be using it? And based on that information, based on that insight, it tells us how to best rig up the camera. By rigging it up, I mean, does it need a base plate? Does it need a cage? Does it need a top handle? What sort of lens mounts lens adapters do we need with it? What sort of battery solution, power solution we need to use? These are all the questions these are all the things that we need to consider in making this camera shoot ready. Okay, this is the camera cage from Tilta. The Tilta Cage comes with a top handle. This is part of the base, part of the top, side, bunch of Allen keys, lens support, secondary box. Here, this is also part of the Tilta camera cage. This is the base plate, the SSD holder, LCD hood. Those are the accessories, so it's time to build it out. And there is your cage. So now that we have this, we have the power, the USB-C, the cage, rods, what do we need to add next? Usually what we require, what you need to be able to work in a commercial environment is an overhead monitor. So let me rig that up now. This is the Sigma 105 1.4 Art. And that's how you build out a camera. The next thing we'll add, of course, is a matte box set so that you can use filters. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K does not have internal NDs. So if you're shooting outdoors and you'd like to be able to control your aperture precisely and don't want to use screw-in filters, you're gonna have to use some sort of filter tray or matte box system. Again, it's really about how you rig out the kit. When we started, it was just the body. Now each and every piece has been thought of, has been considered, and there's a reason for building it out this way. You started with a good camera, but in order to record longer, you need a bigger battery. In order to record longer, again, at a higher quality, you put in an external SSD. But then, these all require mounting points, which means you're gonna have to get a cage. But if you're shooting with an AC, if you're shooting with people who need to see your frame, you're not gonna be satisfied with just a built-in screen, no matter how big it is. So now we've added an overhead monitor to have a secondary monitor, which also gives you a loop out. That is SDI. Is something that's really nowadays standard when you're talking about a film set or a commercial shoot. Another thing is micro four thirds is good, but a lot of the lenses that are in demand right now that DPs want to use are either EF mount or PL. So that's why we got a speed booster from Metabones and a PL mount to micro four thirds also from Metabones, so that you can have those options. That's how it looks when it's done.